The Bucks spread is off. Right now, I'm just looking for basically anything off market that I want to hit. I like to target higher liquidity games such as NBA over college basketball.
Chris Dierkes is considered a sharp, one of the few gamblers who can actually turn a profit. It's not about knowing the sports, it's about the numbers, because players change, but the math stays the same.
I don't get excitement out of that anymore. I get excitement out of finding a good bet, one that I know is going to earn me expected value. All that matters to me is the number. Oh, damn it, the line moves, move back.
Chris considers himself a top-down bettor, meaning he's not starting with who he thinks will win, but is looking at the ways the odds on a particular game aren't taking into account an ever-changing number of important factors.
They'll have their underlying models and algorithms that come up with these numbers, but a human's got to monitor it in case something goes down. Say Giannis gets injured for the Bucks. Your model's gonna have a difficult time adjusting on the fly for a very niche situation. You need a trader there to quickly update. A manual trader's gotta do that. If there's 8 NBA games on, which there is right now, the odds they screw up on one of these games and I can attack, much higher. College basketball, even worse. There's 30 games, 40 games going up right now. I can't even count. So the odds that you find something mistake there is going to be much, much higher. And if they do it wrong and other books do it right, I notice that and can make a bet there.
Professional gamblers are a tiny, tiny fraction, like far less than 1%, a huge threat to that business because unlike the vast majority of us, they know what they're doing and they know how to win money. And they're always looking for angles to exploit sports books.
So how much did you just bet?
I bet about 15,000 on the spread and 10,000 on the total. And like I said, I might have another bet later in that game in the same game. So that's not necessarily max, and that's not necessarily the minimum for what I'm trying to bet. I want to win every day. That would be extremely ideal. I will not win every day. I have never won every day. You just hope that you bet small enough in relation to your bankroll and have enough bets that law of averages plays out and you're positive over the end of it all.
Isaac Rose Berman is a professional gambler who, unlike Chris, specializes in betting on one sport.
I love gambling. I think tennis is one of the easiest and best sports to gamble on for a few reasons. First of all, there's tons of matches all the time, all throughout the year. It's also one-on-one, so I find it easier to kind of model how the match is going to work out. Here's one example. Sportsbooks allow you to bet on every individual point in a tennis match. Not only what game or what set, but literally each individual point. This is generally considered to be kind of one of the most addictive micro markets. What I realized is when a lefty server was going up against a right-handed returner who had a very poor backhand, on the left side, they would be much more likely to win that point. And because the sportsbook didn't account for that, every time one of these lefties was against someone with a really bad backhand, every time they were serving on the left side, I would just spam that bet. I think people don't realize it's not just like, oh, you win all of your bets once you get good at this. There's still a lot of ups and downs. Even if you're, let's say, one of the best professional bettors in the world, and you make 2% overall on all of your bets, if you want to make $100,000, it means you need to bet $2 million throughout the course of the year, which works out to something like $5,000 or $6,000 per day. If you place like a 5-leg parlay, the odds of you winning all 5 of those, assuming they're 50-50 bets, are 1 in 32. Yeah, you're usually going to lose a lot.
Don't tell that to Rufus Peabody.
We hit our first ever $1 million parlay just 2 days ago on college basketball. We had 8 winners in this parlay. So, I mean, that's just one of those that, that's very good fortune.
Rufus Peabody isn't just a sharp, he's an originator. The kind of bettor who doesn't chase lines, he makes them.
An originator is someone who makes their own numbers. So they are generally building models or they're coming up with their own opinions. They're not just looking at the market and trying to find arbitrage opportunities or situations where books have different numbers. They go into it with an opinion, with the number they derive themselves.
Sportsbooks employ their own originators to set the initial spread on a game, but then those lines move based on the betting by customers. Rufus sticks with his own opinion, no matter how other people decide to bet.
Almost all people who are winning at these places, they don't have an opinion on the game at all. They're just using the market average price. People like Rufus are few and far between where they actually have their own opinion on what the price should be. Those are much rarer.
I was always interested in the numbers around sports growing up. Like, I learned to read a baseball box score before I feel like I learned to actually read, but I didn't really put it together with gambling until college. And I was like an economics major. I did my senior thesis at Yale on psychological inefficiencies in the baseball betting market, basically building a baseball model. When I found out about this company, Las Vegas Sports Consultants, they were odds makers in Las Vegas. I was like, this is my dream job. Like, I didn't know a job like that existed where you could like do numbers on sports for a living. So I was like, this is the job I want. I cold called LVSC and talked my way into an internship, and it all went from there. Like, the Tim Donaghy scandal broke when I was out there that summer.
Well, Tim Donaghy, former NBA referee at the center of a gambling scandal, turned himself in today, pleading guilty to betting on the games that he officiated.
So I got to like break down the numbers on the games that he officiated, like the odds movement, and actually I found some really significant stuff that LVSC was able to then send to the NBA and the FBI, and actually got them the NBA as a client going forward. So I kind of proved myself, and then they hired me out of college. So I moved out to Vegas for a job that paid $25,000 a year, but slowly building a bankroll, betting in all my spare time. And after a year, I realized I could do a lot better just betting.
Rufus decides to put his model to the test, with a wager big enough to end his time as a sports bettor if he's wrong.
My first Super Bowl in Las Vegas was between the Arizona Cardinals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was 2009. To this day, I have not watched that game. At the time, I had more than 100% of my net worth bet on the game, and I was so nervous that I decided to go play golf at this little 9-hole course by the airport that is lit up at night. And then I went grocery shopping and cooked dinner until I knew the game would be over. I was so nervous. I ended up returning 25% on it. It was great. And it was like one of the most blissful moments when I looked at it. I was like, Gary Russell scored the first touchdown, who I bet at 25-1. It was pretty insane.
There's an old saying that the glitzy hotels on the Vegas Strip weren't built with winners. The same holds true for the online sports books.
The vast majority of modern sports books, your DraftKings and your FanDuel, they don't want winning customers.
And they've developed a way to limit their exposure to sharps.
If you let sharps bet unfettered into soft sports books, then no sports book, they would not win. Like, if they could wager as much as they wanted to, they would be able to do a lot of damage.